guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sharrah, and today we're gonna talk about how bright it is outside. Man, the sun just came out from the clouds. Good morning. Today I wanna talk about how I have designed our living room to survive 3 kids. I have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 6-month-old. I was gonna share a couple of tips and things that I've kind of done unknowingly or intentionally made a change in our house and thought that I could share that. And thank you to Wild Grain for sponsoring today's delicious video. I will share more of that later, but let's jump into today's video. First things first, our couch. Our couch is washable to an extent. It's not a true slipcover couch on the outside. All of the cushions can be removed and actually thrown into the washing machine, which I love. It is a performance fabric. The sofa is from Article. You guys will probably remember it from our previous videos, but I have been very happy with it. It's kind of a light gray color. If I catch the spill or whatever initially, I usually can wipe it off unless it's something like chocolate or a dark liquid of some sort. Because let's just be honest, when you have children, you have to adjust your expectations because we have children, not robots. And as much as I would like to say my kids don't eat in the living room, my kitchen is right there and my living room is right there. And a lot of us have these open concept spaces now, which is wonderful. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to play referee. Most of the time they notice it at the counter, but sometimes it ends up over there. Obviously, in a perfect world, my couch would stay perfectly clean, no issues. But there are mistakes that happen. Things get spilled, sticky fingers end up in the other room. Scout jumps on them with muddy paws in the spring when it rains a lot. And 9 times out of 10, I just take those slip covers off of the cushions, throw them in the wash, I let them air dry, and then I have Tyler wrestle the cushion back in. That is the secret to making this hassle-free. Get your husband to put them back in. The next thing that I kind of wanted to focus on, obviously I love a good coffee table moment. I think before children, I had a coffee table that was sharp and pointy and metal. I had flowers on the coffee table with a glass vase. I had stackable things and little trinkets and a candle that was lit with an open flame. Those were the good old days. But guess what? That is no more. That is not how my coffee table looks today. And mostly because I would like to avoid a trip to the emergency room. I think sometimes you can throw the baby out with the bathwater and just have no coffee table. But I think you can still have a coffee table, but buy something intentional that is best for the whole family. So I have had that big square ottoman that was upholstered in our Tulsa house. I love that piece. It was from Article. It was great. It was soft. If someone bonked their head on it, it was totally fine. You could put a tray on top if you needed to put something in the middle, but ultimately it was big enough that the kids could kind of like maneuver around it and it was safe if someone bonked their head. What I have now, because our space isn't quite as large to have that big of a piece, is this rounded coffee table that actually is a lot smaller, but I love it because I can move it out of the way if the kids are going to be wrestling or be playing, or I can have it there for a place to put down books, to put down drinks if we do have people over. But most of the time I keep it pretty clean. I keep it non-cluttered, not a lot of stuff on top, because that is a high trafficked area where there are kids constantly around. And as soon as Jenny starts walking and putting everything in her mouth, we're just gonna keep that clean and clutter free. The third thing is with my rug. Now, I would highly recommend a ruggable rug in the living room. It is on my list of something to get, but I have so many rugs that brands send me. It's kind of a weird problem to have, but it feels weird to like buy rugs because I've just had so many extra rugs kind of here. One of my favorites that I actually purchased, but it was from Walmart. And basically the tip here is to buy a low maintenance rug that's not super expensive when you have little kids. Once your kids are in high school, and maybe I'll change my mind on this, but I feel like when your kids are older, then you can start reinvesting in your home. But when they're younger, you kind of have to go for things that you can either wash or that you could switch out every couple of years when they get trashed, because they just will. Now, I love our rug because it's kind of like a pattern that it could be food or it could be an intentional pattern, but nobody knows. And that is what we want. This rug I doubt is still available, but I will try to find it online on walmart.com. But they are a great resource for affordable rugs that are very large. I think this was like 9 by 13 or something, which usually would be very expensive. And I think it was like 300 bucks, 200 or 300 bucks. It's definitely getting trashed, especially every time you vacuum. It's not a high quality rug. It's not something that you're gonna get to have forever and ever, and it's gonna stay in really good condition. But I'm also not gonna cry if someone spills something on it, or if there's crushed up goldfish in my rug, you know, it's like, well, great, let's vacuum it, and in a couple of years, we will upgrade to something different. Now, if you were to do something like Ruggable, which again, this is not sponsored by them, but in theory, that would be a great option. They are more of an investment, especially if you get a bigger size, but you can take the top layer of the rug off and put it in the wash, which is ideal, and it still looks great. Now, speaking of mess crumpled up into my rug, I wanted to share with you today's sponsor, which is Wild Grain. Wild Grain is the very first bake from frozen subscription box for fresh pastries, fresh bread, fresh croissants, delicious goods baked fresh, then frozen and delivered straight to your door. They even have fresh pasta. Now, they actually work with small bakeries and bakers across the country, and so everything that you are receiving is like small batch baked. Now, we have tried their sourdough, their focaccia. They have the most delicious croissants. Once upon a time, I loved making my own sourdough, which I'm not anti that fully forever. It's just, I'm keeping 3 children alive, and at the time I was growing the 3rd one. So trying to also keep a starter alive and growing healthily, it's just a lot of work. It's like how I feel about plants. I just can't keep plants alive when I'm in this like birthing, growing, pregnancy phase of my life. Once I am done with my having children era, and I've already had them, then I might go back to making my own bread. But until then, it is really valuable to have a company like Wild Grain. If you want really fresh baked goods that are made really high quality with minimal ingredients, this really is the best option. Is it good? With a lot of their breads, they do a slow fermentation process. So what that means is it slows down the fermenting, so it's easier on your gut and your digestion. It also is richer in nutrients within the bread itself and antioxidants, which is quite fancy. There's no preservatives in these breads. They don't take shortcuts. It's the real deal. All of their products bake from frozen in about 25 minutes. You don't need to thaw it. You don't have to take it out the night before. You just put it right in the oven and it's ready to go for dinner or breakfast or whatever you're baking it for. And with every box that they sell, they will give 2 boxes to a food security charity of your choice. So you can select which one. They will donate those 2 boxes, and they do give back, which I think is the best part of this company. We love their chocolate chip cookies. It's so easy to pop them in the oven like before the kids got home from school, but they're so easy, they're fresh, they're delicious, and the kids love them. If you guys wanna check out Wild Grain, go ahead and use the link in my description. You guys can also scan the QR code and you will get $30 off your first Wild Grain box with my code Sharrah, and you will get croissants, free croissants for life. If that is not enough reason to sign up, man. Free croissants, and they're the most delicious croissants. How is it?
Squishy. I like it. The best chocolate chip I ever had in my life.
Well, there you go. Now, if you're gonna survive having 3 kids and having a beautifully decorated living room, you need to really do this next suggestion, and that is invest in some beautiful baskets, embrace the mess. Baskets, mess, flexibility, collect and dump. So what I do, my living room often looks like a bomb went off about midway through the day, probably 3 times a day. Initially, like early stages, a couple of years ago, I would get very frustrated and feel like, why are they always messing everything up? Then I realized, you know, they're children. This is what they do. Them having toys everywhere and pillows everywhere and all that is just a sign of them really having a very happy childhood. And they're children who don't know how to clean up, and it's my responsibility to teach them how to clean up. And when they have a lot of stuff everywhere, it can be very overwhelming. So I try to minimize what they have in this space. They have a playroom upstairs, but I only let a few things hang out down here at a time. And I have baskets that they can put everything in. Some stuff is like, okay, that's a toy, we'll just kind of, you love playing down here, we'll keep it down here. We kind of rotate them every once in a while. I put the baskets out, and they, most of the time, will put all of their toys and things in those baskets, and we keep them down here in the living room. If you have a built-in, or if you have a credenza or something you can put the baskets in, that's even better. I do not have that yet. That is something we are working on, planning on putting a built-in in at some point. But for now, as long as I have a means for them to collect their things, put them in a basket, and have them up against the wall, visually it looks so much better, and I feel like I can breathe. And it really only takes a few minutes to collect everything down there, throw it in the basket, and put it on the wall. About every week or 2 weeks, I'll go through those baskets when they're not home, There's so much in there that's often trash, like rubber bands and corks and shredded paper and a drawing or a food wrapper or whatever. And it's just like, okay, a lot of this is just, or like a random toy from, you know, Chick-fil-A that they don't care about or know or need. I'll put stuff in donation piles, I'll put stuff in trash piles, and I will clean out these baskets every once in a while. When there becomes too many toys around in the living room area, or they're too big and they don't really have a place to go, I bought this really cool stair basket. I will link it below for you guys. I leave it on the stair. It literally has like a little bite out of it, and it goes right on your staircase. And I load that thing up throughout the week, putting some toys and gloves and random things that I find around the house. I throw that in that basket, and when that thing gets full, I take the basket upstairs and put everything away. But the key here is having a solution for your children to teach them how to clean up. So you're not just getting mad that your 3-year-old didn't think to pick up his, you know, toys and bring them upstairs and put them away in the right spot. That's kind of a high expectation for a 3-year-old in my opinion. Maybe when they're 6, I think they could probably do that, maybe, I don't know, we're not there yet. But for my kids, I can say, okay, clean up all your toys, put them in the basket. They know how to do that. And then upstairs, if we're up in the playroom where they have everything organized in labels and pictures on the labels so they know, I can say, put all your dinosaurs away, and they know exactly where to take their dinosaurs to put them away. It's taken like 1.5 years to really get this system in, and they're still not perfect at it, but I think just like having systems in place, trying your best to make it simple and easy to do for yourself and for them is going to make it a win-win for everybody. And then also just embracing the fact that sometimes your living room is gonna look like a mess. And that's okay. That is a real lived-in living room with happy children who love to play, who are making great memories and laughing and being joyful, and that is all good, very good things. It might drive you crazy for a little while, but if you have a good system, you can clean it up and give yourself some peace of mind, even if it's only for a few hours before they come back and mess it up again. And last but not least, excessive throw pillows all around your couch are a good thing. I have learned my obsession for throw pillows is actually very well received with my rowdy boys, because you know why? They love building forts. They love taking the cushions, the pillows off, and the couch cushions, the whole thing. The whole couch gets emptied probably once a week. They build a fort, they make an absolute mess. Now, when they put them back on the couch, do they put them back correctly? No, I have to go and fix them. But the fact that they know if we make a mess and build a fort, well, all the pillows will end up back on the couch in some capacity. And they love it. Good news is you don't have to get rid of your throw pillows. You could probably buy more. No, in all seriousness, the throw pillows, it's something that does drive me nuts because they often are thrown everywhere. It's Brody's favorite game is to take a throw pillow and throw it on the floor and jump on it. The floor is lava, jump on the pillows. But really it is so sweet and it's so easy to clean. I would much rather have 15 pillows on the floor than teeny tiny Legos scattered everywhere. I know that day's coming, but for now I'm very satisfied and happy with the fact that they're nice, cushy, big pillows that I can easily put back on the couch. So embrace your pillows, embrace the fact that they like to build forts, do it with them, and then help them learn to put them back, even if it's just throwing it back on the couch in a messy way, so that way you can bring some sanity back to your living room at the end of the day. I hope this video has been helpful for you guys. This is just a quick and easy thing I was thinking of, like what are ways I can marry my previous content of interior design with my current stage of motherhood, and giving you really tangible tips on how to make your homes beautiful, but also help your sanity, you know, be a little bit more stable with the messiness of kids. And also sharing my real life experience of things I'm learning and solutions that are helping us as we navigate this life with young kids. Thank you so much to Wild Grain for sponsoring today's video. Again, I will put that link below if y'all want to check it out, and I will see you guys next time. If you guys have any ideas of things along the lines of interior design and motherhood, home type content, I have a few ideas in mind, but I'd love to hear from you. If there's certain things you'd love to hear me share on or talk about, make a video on, feel free to add that in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.